And now this month, they're devastated by fire and drought and heat wave. Oh, never mind, it's bad news. A few years ago, I went to the cinema. I can't remember what film was on, but I do remember seeing a trailer for Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. I had to look up the name of that because I can't remember which Mission Impossible film is which anymore. Anyway, at the end of the trailer, there's this bit where Tom Cruise runs after a plane and grabs onto it while it flies away, and everyone in the cinema gasped. Did I talk about Tom Cruise last month? Tom Cruise came over to the UK, but he only wanted to go to sports events. I'm quite good at translating gasps, so I can translate those cinema gasps now. They mostly translated as, "You can't grab onto a plane while it flies away, it's dangerous." So in August, when news footage appeared of loads of people rushing to cling onto a plane as it flew away, everyone did that same gasp again. The one that means, you can't grab onto a plane while it flies away, it's dangerous. So why were they grabbing onto a plane? Desperation. Because despite it being universally understood that it's dangerous to cling onto planes whilst they fly away, it turns out that a lot of people would rather take their chances than to have to stay in Afghanistan.
"I want to go anywhere else other than here," says this man. "All the embassies and offices are closed. What can I do?" Then Taliban fighters bring the interview to an end.
And yes, it was dangerous. In fact, some people were killed in the process, some with what would have been promising futures under other circumstances.
One of the young men who fell from a plane, clinging to it even after takeoff, a talented footballer who had played for the national youth team, part of a generation of Afghans now facing a deeply uncertain future.
So what is happening in Afghanistan? The former president, Ashraf Ghani, fled the country and the Taliban took control, doing their oppressive ruly thingy that they like to do. Now they're going around door to door, forcing girls as young as 12 into marriages with soldiers, having women leave universities and the workplace so that they can be replaced by men. No, we don't care that she's the most efficient worker at this company. We're giving her job to Imran, the janitor, because it's a woman. So here we are now with people fleeing the country on crowded planes with nothing but the clothes on their backs. I've included some links in the description that you can look at if you wish to help. So you might recall from my previous reports and also from the news a couple of months back that Italy won the Eurovision Song Contest. And now this month, they're devastated by fire and drought and heat wave. Oh, never mind, it's bad news. Essentially, because of the weather, Italy was transformed into hell, as depicted on 80s metal album covers. Much of the Mediterranean was engulfed in flames, threatening wildlife and causing people to lose their homes. I'll tell you something, August is rubbish so far. Over in Haiti, there was a massive earthquake and a tropical storm. Oh, for goodness sake! Devastation, rubble, lives lost, homes destroyed, hospitals full. I've posted a link in the description of a website set up to help. In August, the comedian Sean Locke passed away from cancer, aged 58, which came out of nowhere for most of us.
Do you ever show your sensitive side?
Yeah, I've shown it twice. Once to my wife, and another time I slowed down for a horse.
Then soon after, Charlie Watts, the drummer for the Rolling Stones, passed away. Look at him go. There was exam results day, even though exams for school students this year all ended up being cancelled because of lockdown. So then the results were just whatever the officiators said that the participants ought to get, which I'm sure was nice for the high achievers, but perhaps less fair on the ones that were shown to have underperformed.
We know from all the research we've done that it's hit the poorest students the hardest, because they have overall had less access to learning, less access to teaching than their better off peers. And there's a whole range of reasons for that, but some of them are around access to a quiet place to study, access to a good internet connection, access to a laptop so they could take part in the home learning.
In Formula 1, the Belgian Grand Prix almost took place. They tried to get it started, but it was too rainy and the cameraman had just had a perm done, so they cancelled the whole race. Can we just copy and paste this next bit from the last segment? Yeah, it's essentially the same story, so no one will notice. So then the results were just whatever the officiators said that the participants ought to get, which I'm sure was nice for the high achievers, but perhaps less fair on the ones that were shown to have underperformed.
2 laps behind the safety car was enough for a classification. Max Verstappen wins then.
I'm surprised they didn't just give it to Lewis Hamilton. He usually wins. He's good at driving. He should do Uber or deliver takeaways. They'd never be late. Missed opportunity there. He'd be minted. More sport! So there I was, tuning in to watch Michael Portillo's Great British Railway Journeys, only to find that it wasn't on. They'd changed the programming to cover the boring cricket, which was well annoying. The Olympics continued. Nobody was at the closing ceremony because of the restrictions going on in Tokyo, so everybody that had gone over there to take part in the Olympics had already gone home by the time the whole thing was over. But you can see that for yourself, because I'm definitely still allowed to use footage of this stuff in my videos and not worry about getting blocked again. Soon after the closing ceremony, the Paralympics began. That's another big sporting event that I'm allowed to show footage of. The football season started again, although I'm bored of pretending to be interested in football now. I've finished.